The ship called Hwasong came out of faster-than-light travel near Station Ori 7. It was a small ship, simple, the kind of ship that made other species laugh when they saw it. Captain Park. Do-hyun stood on the bridge and looked at the massive station through the window. Ori 7 was huge. It could hold millions of beings from dozens of different worlds. Lights covered every part of it like stars on a metal sky. "We have arrived," said Lieutenant Kim Yuna from her seat at the communications panel. She was young but very smart. Her job was to talk to the aliens and learn their cultures. "I can see that," said Do-hyun. His voice was calm. It was always calm. Even when things went wrong, his voice never changed. This made some people nervous. But his crew trusted him completely. Dr. Big Ji-woo walked onto the bridge. She was the science advisor. Her eyes moved quickly, studying everything on the screens. "The station is scanning us," she said. "They are looking at our weapons, our engines, everything." "Let them look," said Do-hyun. "We have nothing to hide." This was not exactly true. But Dr. Ji-woo said nothing. She just nodded and continued watching the data on her screen. The Hwasong moved slowly toward the docking area. Other ships passed by them. Big ships with weapons that glowed with energy. Fast ships with sharp edges that looked like knives cutting through space. Beautiful ships with colors that changed as they moved. And then there was the Hwasong, small, gray, simple. A voice came through the speakers. It was deep and musical. "Human vessel, you are cleared to dock at Port 17. Welcome to Station Ori 7 and the Galactic Trade Summit. Try not to get lost." There was laughter in the background. Many voices laughing together. Lieutenant Yuna looked at the captain. Her face showed anger. But Do-hyun just smiled a little. "Thank them for the welcome," he said. "Tell them we are happy to be here." Yuna took a breath. Then she spoke into the communicator with a voice as calm as the captain's. "Station Ori 7, we thank you for your welcome. We are honored to attend the summit." More laughter. Then the channel closed. The three humans looked at each other. Nobody spoke. There was nothing to say. They all knew this would be difficult. The docking was smooth. The Hwasong connected to the station with a soft sound. Then the doors opened, and the humans walked into Ori 7 for the first time. The station was even more impressive inside. The main hall was so big the clouds floated near the ceiling. Trees from 100 different planets grew in gardens along the walls. Beings of every shape and size walked past them. The Valkyrie were the first species to approach them. They were tall, very tall. Their skin was like glass with light moving inside it. They wore clothes made of flowing fabric that seemed to float around their bodies. Everything about them said, "We are important. We are powerful. You are not." "Ah," said the Valkyrie in front. His name was Malrix, and he was the High Speaker of the Trade Coalition. "The humans have arrived. How small you are." Captain Do-hyun bowed politely. "High Speaker Malrix, thank you for inviting us to your summit." Malrix made a sound that might have been a laugh. "Inviting? We did not invite you. You asked to come. Many times. We finally allowed it because we were curious." "Then we thank you for your curiosity," said Do-hyun. Malrix studied the human captain. Do-hyun's face showed nothing. No anger. No fear. No pride. Just patience. This seemed to annoy the High Speaker. "Calm," said Malrix. "There is a welcome ceremony. Try to keep up." He turned and walked away. His long legs moved fast. The humans had to walk quickly to stay close. The welcome ceremony was held in a great hall filled with representatives from 12 different species. The Karth were there. They were like insects with hard shells and many arms. Their eyes were black and saw everything. The Selenar floated in special containers. They were made of gas that glowed and pulsed with their thoughts. The Tormak were there too. They were short and round with thick skin like stone. Every species looked at the human's dog, and every species laughed. "They are so soft," said a Korath warrior. His mandibles clicked together with amusement. "One hit would break them." "They have no natural weapons," said a Tormak. "No claws. No poison. No poison. How did they survive on their planet?" "Perhaps their planet has no predators," said a Selenar. Its voice was like wind through leaves. "Perhaps they evolved in a very gentle place." More laughter. Captain Do-hyun stood in the center of the hall. Lieutenant Yuna stood on his left. Dr. Jiwoo stood on his right. None of them spoke. None of them reacted to the insults. They just watched and listened and remembered. Melrix raised his hands, and the hall became quiet. "Welcome, humans, to the Galactic Coalition. You are the newest species to make contact with us. You are also the most primitive." He paused to let others laugh. "Your ships are slow. Your weapons are weak. Your bodies are fragile. But we believe every species has value. Even the small ones. Even the weak ones." More laughter. "So we welcome you. We will teach you. We will help you understand your place in the galaxy." He smiled. It was not a kind smile. "Your place is at the bottom. But do not worry. Even the bottom is better than being alone in the darkness of space." The ceremony continued. Food was served. Drinks were offered. The humans ate little and drank less. They moved through the crowd slowly, speaking only when spoken to. And always, they watched. Lieutenant Yuna had a small device in her hand. It looked like a simple communication tool, but it was recording everything. Every word, every face, every reaction. Dr. Jiwoo studied the walls, the ceiling, the technology around them. Her mind was working fast, analyzing everything she saw, and Captain Do-hyun just smiled, politely, patiently, like a man who knew something that nobody else knew. Near the end of the ceremony, Melrix approached them again. He had been drinking something that made his glass skin glow brighter. "Human captain," he said, "I have a question." "Please ask," said Do-hyun. "We have insulted you. We have mocked you. We have called you weak and primitive. And yet you say nothing. You do not defend yourselves. You do not fight back." Melrix leaned down to look into Do-hyun's eyes. "Are humans truly so weak that they cannot even speak?" The hall became quiet. Everyone wanted to hear the answer. Captain Park Do-hyun looked up at the tall alien. His face was still calm. His eyes were still patient. "I, speaker," he said softly. "We find that silence teaches us more than words ever could." Melrix stared at him for a long moment. Then he laughed and walked away. But Lieutenant Yuna noticed something. Just for a second, there was confusion in the high speaker's glowing eyes. He did not understand the human's answer, and things you do not understand can be dangerous. The ceremony ended. The humans returned to their small ship. They said nothing until the doors closed behind them. Then Dr. Jiwoo spoke. "They have no idea what we are." "No," said Captain Do-hyun. "They do not. Should we tell them?" asked Lieutenant Yuna. The captain sat down in his chair and looked out at the station. Millions of beings lived there. Beings who thought humans were weak. Beings who thought humans were nothing. "No," he said. "Let them learn." Far away, in the darkness beyond the station's sensors, something waited. Something silent. Something patient. Something human. 3 days passed on Station Ori 7. 3 days of meetings. 3 days of insults. 3 days of watching Dawn Ambassador Shin Yoonji arrived on the second day. She came on another small ship, bringing more humans with her. Soldiers, scientists, Diplomats, all of them
Oh
quiet,
shit.
all of them
Shit, I'm
patient.
low.
Sergeant Han Taemin led the security team. He was a big man with careful eyes. He never smiled.
Touch me.
He never relaxed.
Oh man, I kind of want
Every moment, he watched
Order
for
right now.
danger. Every moment, he was ready. The aliens do not take us seriously, he told the ambassador on her first night. They think we are children
well, I
playing
don't know
at
why
being
I was going that
adults. Ambassador Shin nodded. She was an older woman with gray in her hair and
Hold on,
steel
wait,
in her
I
voice.
landed
Good,
really
she
far.
said. Let them think that. The next morning, she met with Malrix and the Coalition Trade Council. The meeting room was large and cold. The humans sat on one side of a long table. The aliens sat on the other. Malrix smiled his unkind smile. Ambassador Shin, we have prepared a trade agreement for your species. He pushed a device across the table. Ambassador Shin picked it up and read the document inside. Her face did not change. But Captain Doyun, sitting beside her,
I'm with you.
saw her
I'm with
fingers tighten on the device. This agreement, she said slowly, would give the Coalition rights to all mineral resources in human space. It would allow Coalition ships to travel through our system without notice. It would require humans to provide workers for Coalition projects. Yes, said Malrix. A standard agreement for new species. This is not a trade agreement, said Ambassador Shin. This would make Earth a colony. Malrix spread his hands.
Yeah, there's two.
Such
There's two,
strong
there's two.
words. We prefer to say partnership. A partnership where we give everything and receive nothing? You would receive protection, said Malrix. The galaxy is dangerous. There are species out there that would destroy you without thinking. The Coalition can keep you safe. And if we refuse, Malrix's smile grew wider.
Wait a minute.
Then you would have no protection.
That was
And
so
as I said,
bad. That was-
the galaxy is dangerous. The room was silent. The aliens waited for
Okay,
the
I don't know why I
humans
was
to
jumping
show
around like
fear,
that, like I was playing
to show
Apex or
anger,
something.
to beg or to threaten. Ambassador Shin put down the device. We will consider your offer, she said calmly, and we will give you our answer before the summit ends. Malrix looked surprised. He had expected argument. He had expected emotion. This quiet acceptance confused him. Very well, he said, but do not take too long. Our patience is not unlimited. The humans stood and bowed and left. After that meeting, things became worse for the human delegation. Their quarters were moved to a lower section of the station. The rooms were smaller. The air was colder. The food delivered to them was old and tasteless. They are trying to make us uncomfortable, said Lieutenant Yuna. They want us to complain, so they can call us weak. Then, we will not complain, said Ambassador Shin. When the humans went to important meetings, they found the doors locked. A mistake, the Valkyrie said. The schedule was changed. Did no one tell you? When they tried to speak with other species, the aliens walked away. We are
Oh,
busy,
good skin
they
to do
said.
something, right? I
Perhaps
bought
another
fan
time.
for $16.
When Sergeant Taemin led his team through the station, Karth warriors blocked their path. Humans are not allowed in this section, they
Where are we
said.
dropping?
Go back. Every day brought new insults, new obstacles, new tests of their patience. And every day,
Down.
the humans remained silent, polite, watching. On the fourth night, Sergeant Taemin came to Captain Do-hyun with a report. Someone has been scanning our ship, he said. They are looking at our computer systems, our engines, everything. Did they find anything? Asked Do-hyun. They found what we wanted them to find, said Taemin. Nothing interesting, nothing dangerous. Just a simple ship with simple technology. Dalhan nodded.
Yeah, you
Good,
don't.
let them keep looking.
Fucker.
Meanwhile, Dr. Jiwoo was doing her own research. She spent hours in the station's information center, reading old
Yeah,
records and forgotten
I
documents.
don't know why I spent
One
that
night,
much money,
she
okay?
called a
Don't
secret
ask me.
meeting in the
That was a
captain's
very bad
quarters.
decision.
Ambassador Shin was there. Captain Do-hyun was there. Lieutenant Yuna was there. Sergeant Taman stood guard at the door. I found something, said Dr. Jiwoo. Her voice was quiet but serious. The coalition has existed for over 1,000 years. In that time, they have made contact with many new species. We knew this, said Ambassador Shen. Yes, but what we did not know is what happened to those species. Dr. Jiwoo activated a small screen. Names appeared. Species names. 17 of them. These are species that joined the coalition as new members.
Damn, that running scares
Like
me
us.
so much.
What happened to
On the
them?
roof.
Asked Captain Doyan. They're gone, said Dr. Jiwoo. Some were absorbed into other species.
Yeah.
Some were moved to
Okay,
colony
mate.
worlds and forgotten. Some just
Where are
disappeared. The records do not say what happened to them. The room was silent. The coalition does not want partners, said Dr. Jiwoo. They want resources. When a new species has something valuable, they take it.
they? There another one?
When the species has nothing left to give, they throw it away. Lieutenant Yuna felt cold. They want to do this to Earth? Earth has many things they want, said Dr. Jiwoo. Metals, water, land, and most importantly, workers. Humans can survive in many environments. We can do many kinds of work. To the coalition, we are valuable tools. Ambassador Shin's face was hard as stone. We will not let this happen. No, said Captain Doyan. We will not. Later that night, Lieutenant Yuna was walking alone through a quiet part of the station.
He was playing Fortnite?
She needed time to think. Time to process everything
Oh,
she had
shit.
learned.
We
A
wanted
shadow
that game
moved
so
beside
bad.
her. She turned quickly, her hand reaching for her weapon. It was a Korath warrior. But not just any warrior. This was one of their leaders. She had seen him at the welcome ceremony, standing tall and proud
Does he-
among
so
his
does he-
people.
Wait,
Human,
so does he like...
he said.
Oh, yeah.
His voice was like stones grinding together. Do not be afraid. I only wish to talk.
I just realized
Then
why am I
talk,
so far?
said Yuna. Her hand stayed near her weapon. The Korath moved closer. His black eyes studied her face. I have been watching your species. You are different. Different how? You are weak. Everyone can see this. Your bodies are soft. Your ships are slow. Your weapons are primitive. He paused.
one.
And yet, you do not act like weak creatures. Weak creatures run. Weak creatures hide. Weak creatures beg for mercy. You do none of these things. Perhaps we are not as weak as you think,
shit.
said Yuna. The Korath made a clicking sound that might have been a laugh. Perhaps, but that is not what confuses me.
I have a legendary...
What confuses me is why you do not fight back. The Velthari insult you every day. They steal your food. They lock you out of meetings. They treat you like animals. Why do you not strike them? Why do you not demand respect? Yuna looked at the alien warrior. He was much bigger than her, much stronger. One blow from his arm could kill her instantly, but she was not afraid. On Earth,
How do I give you
she
money?
said, we have a saying.
Oh, right here, right here.
The nail that
Here,
sticks
have it
up
all.
gets hammered down. What does this mean?
Take
It means that those who act too soon often suffer. It means that patience is sometimes stronger than action. It means... She smiled slightly. We prefer to watch, learn, and wait. The Korath considered this. Waiting is for prey,
Right here,
he
right
said
here.
finally. Hunters do not wait.
Okay.
They strike. Then perhaps, said Yuna, you have never met a hunter
making
who
that
was
money.
patient enough to let the prey come to them. She walked away before he could respond.
Who
The
should hear me?
Korath watched her go. Something was wrong. Something about these humans did not fit. They acted like
We should
prey,
move towards,
but spoke like predators.
circle a little bit.
They seemed weak, but showed no fear. For the first time in many years, the Korath warrior felt uncertain. Back on the Hwasong, Captain Do-hyun received a coded message from somewhere far away. He read it alone in his cabin. When he finished, he closed his eyes and let out a long breath. Everything was in position. Everything was ready. Now they
Oh,
just
right
had to
here,
wait a
right here.
little longer.
Are those
On the
bots?
bridge, Dr. Jiwoo noticed something on her screens. Captain,
Shoot 'em or
she
shoot 'em?
called through the intercom. The station is trying to find out what our ship has been scanning,
Nah.
and they cannot figure it out. Our scanning frequency is different from anything they have seen before. Da-hyun smiled in the darkness of his cabin.
Yeah, that.
Good. Let them wonder. Outside, in the black emptiness of space, something waited. Patient, silent, ready.
Me far away.
The humans were not alone.
With this
They had
little
never been
stool.
alone, and soon everyone would know it. Day 5 of the summit arrived. The Grand Assembly Hall was filled
Mate,
with
what are
beings
you
from
doing
every
over there?
corner of the galaxy. Lights floated in the air like captured stars. Music played from hidden speakers. It was a day of celebration, it was also a day of judgment. Captain Park Do-yoon stood with his delegation near the back of the hall.
Oh fuck!
Ambassador
Oh, fuck,
Shin
who's
was
shooting
beside
at
him. Lieutenant Yuna watched
Oh my God, why is
everything
it
with
not-
sharp
okay,
eyes.
I gotta,
Dr.
okay,
Jiwoo
okay.
studied the technology around them. Sergeant Taman and his soldiers stood guard,
Downed him.
their faces showing nothing. What is this ceremony? Asked one of the younger
Behind the rock,
diplomats.
picking her up.
Ranking day, said Ambassador Shin. Her voice was flat. They will tell the galaxy where we belong in their order. At the bottom, said Captain
What the
Do-yoon. We already know this. They have told us many times. A great horn sounded. The hall became quiet.
What?
High speaker Malrix
How did you do
walked
that?
to a platform in the center of the room. His glass skin glowed
I
brighter
did,
than ever. He wore robes that flowed like water around his tall body. Welcome, he said. His voice carried to every corner of the hall. Welcome to the ranking ceremony of the Galactic Coalition. Cheering filled the room. Alien voices of every kind made sounds of
I don't
approval.
have any.
Today,
jetpacks
we
or
honor the
anything.
species that have earned their place among the stars. We celebrate their strength, their wisdom,
Right here, right here.
their power. Malrix spread his
Yeah, he's
arms
down.
wide. And
Pick you
today,
up, I'm pick you up.
we welcome a new species to our ranks. He turned to look at the
Oh
humans.
shit!
His smile was cold. The humans of Earth. Thousands of alien eyes turned to look at the small group of humans. Some eyes were curious. Most were amused. A few were hungry, like predators looking at food. Humans are a young species, said Malrix. They have traveled among the stars for only a short time. Their technology is simple. Their ships are slow. Their weapons are weak. He walked toward the humans as he spoke. Each
Where are
step
you?
was slow and dramatic. We have watched them during this summit. We have tested them. And we have learned much about their nature. He stopped in front of Captain
No, I'm
Do-yoon.
dead.
The human captain was much shorter than the alien leader. He had to look up to meet Malrix's eyes. Humans
Wait,
are
don't forget
silent,
me.
said Malrix. They do not defend
do it.
themselves. They do not fight back. When insulted, they bow.
I don't know.
When threatened,
I
they
don't
smile.
know.
They are
Not
passive
there.
creatures who have survived only because their planet is isolated and unimportant. Laughter filled the hall. Therefore, continued Malrix, the Coalition has decided to rank the humans
be
in Tier
Karen
7.
now?
A
You
gasp
can join
went
us,
through the
Destiny.
crowd.
I
Tier
need-
7 was the lowest rank. It was below spacefaring
Oh, solid
species,
too. Oh,
below
shit.
trading partners, below allies. Tier 7 species were resources, tools, servants. Tier 7 species provide labor and materials to the Coalition, said Malrix. They receive protection in return. This is a fair exchange. This is the natural order. He looked down at the humans with cold triumph in his glowing eyes. Do you accept your ranking, human captain? The hall was silent. Every being waited to see what the small, weak
What were they
human
doing the
would
whole
do.
time?
Captain Do-yoon looked up at Malrix. His face was calm. His eyes were steady. He showed no anger, no fear, no shame. High speaker, he said. His voice was soft but clear. Everyone heard it. We thank you for this educational experience. Malrix blinked. This was not the response he expected.
Oh, shoot.
Educational?
You guys got this.
Yes, we came to this summit to learn about the coalition. We have learned much. We have learned how you treat those you consider weak. We have learned how you speak to those who do not fight back. We have learned what you truly believe about partnership and fairness. Ambassador Shin stepped forward. Her voice was stronger than the captain's. We will take everything we have learned here back to Earth. Our people will know the truth about the Galactic Coalition. The truth? Malrix laughed. The truth is that you are nothing. Your species is nothing. You have no power. You have no allies. You have nothing but a small, weak planet at the edge of nowhere. He waved his hand dismissively. Go back to your Earth. Tell them whatever you want. It will not change anything. In the hierarchy of the stars, you are nothing. The humans began to walk toward the exit. Their steps were slow and dignified. They did not run. They did not bow their heads. They walked like people who had made a decision. Malrix called after them. Running away? How very human. Laughter followed them across the hall. They were almost at the door when Dr. Jiwoo stopped. She turned back to face the high speaker. The hall became quiet again. Everyone wanted to know what she would say. High speaker, said Dr. Jiwoo. Her voice was quiet and calm. I noticed something interesting about your station. Malrix frowned. What? Your defense grid. It uses a Helix 4 frequency modulation. Very powerful. Very expensive. She tilted her head like she was remembering something. Interesting choice, though. Very vulnerable to cascade interference. The silence in the hall changed. It became heavier, more dangerous. What did you say? Asked Malrix. Cascade interference, repeated Dr. Jiwoo. It happens when you send signals at exactly the right frequency to make the system overload itself. We use similar technology on Earth. She paused. For agricultural drones. She turned and walked out of the hall before anyone could respond. The humans left. The door closed behind them. Malrix stood on his platform. His glowing skin flickered. For the first time since the summit began, he did not look confident. High speaker. A Selenar advisor floated closer. Its gaseous body pulsed with concern. How did the human know our defense specifications? That information is classified. Malrix did not answer. He was thinking about the small woman's words. Agricultural drones. She had compared their mighty defense grid to farming equipment. Was it an insult? Or was it something else? Find out, he said finally. Find out everything about their ship. Everything about their technology. Everything about their planet. We have been trying, said the Selenar. Their ship is simple. Their technology is primitive. There is nothing special about them. Then how did she know? The Selenar had no answer. Across the hall, the Korath war leader watched the door where the humans had left. He remembered his conversation with the female human. Her words echoed in his mind. Perhaps you have never met a hunter who was patient enough to let the prey come to them. He clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. Something was wrong here. Something was very wrong. The humans had been insulted in front of the entire galaxy. They had been ranked as servants and slaves. And yet they walked away calmly, proudly, like they knew something that no one else knew. The war leader made a decision. He would find out what the humans were hiding. He would find out the truth. Because in his experience, the most dangerous creatures were not the ones who roared and threatened. The most dangerous creatures were the ones who watched and waited and smiled. The ones who were silent. Back on the Wasong, the human delegation gathered on the bridge. The doors were locked. The security screens were active. No one could hear them. It is done, said Ambassador Shin. They have shown the galaxy their true nature. They have shown it to everyone, and now asked Lieutenant Yuna. Captain Do-yun looked out the window at Station Ori 7. Thousands of lights glittered in the darkness. Millions of beings lived there. Beings who thought humans were weak. Beings who thought humans were nothing. Now, he said, we show them ours. He pressed a button on his chair. A secure channel opened. A voice answered from somewhere far away. Admiral Choi here. Status? The summit is complete, said Captain Do-yun. We have seen enough. We know what they are. And your recommendation? Do-hyun looked at his crew. At Ambassador Shin with her steel voice. At Lieutenant Yuna with her sharp eyes. At Dr. Jiwoo with her brilliant mind. At Sergeant Taemin with his steady hands. They all nodded. Show them, said Captain Do-yun. Show them what was behind us all along. There was a pause. Then Admiral Choi spoke again. Understood. Beginning operation in 6 hours. Get your people ready. The channel closed. Dr. Jiwoo smiled for the first time since they had arrived. I almost feel sorry for them, she said. Do not, said Ambassador Shin. They chose this. We gave them every chance to treat us fairly. Every chance to be honest. Every chance to be partners. They chose to mock us instead. They will regret that choice, said Sergeant Taemin. Yes, said Captain Do-yun. He turned away from the window. They will. But we will not enjoy their regret. We will simply let them experience it. The Hwasong sat quietly in its dock. Small, simple, unimportant. Behind it, hidden in the darkness of space, something began to move. The Silent Ones were about to speak, and the galaxy would never forget the sound. 6 hours after the ranking ceremony, the first alarm sounded on Station Ori-7. Of L3. Technician was working in the sensor control room when her screens began to flash. She looked at the data and felt her blood turn cold. Contact, she whispered. Then louder, contact. Unknown contact at the edge of the system. More alarms joined the first. Across the station, operators stared at their screens in confusion. I have contact too, said a chorus at another station. No, wait. I have 3 contacts. I have 7. 12 here. What is happening? In the main command center, high speaker Melrix pushed through a crowd of officers to reach the primary display. The screen showed the space around Station Ori 7. Normally, this space was empty, except for trading ships coming and going. Now it was filling with red dots. Where are they coming from? Demanded Melrix. They are decloaking, said a sensor officer. His voice shook. They were already here, hidden, waiting. Decloaking? What species is cloaking technology that good? No one answered. They all knew. They just did not want to say it. The red dots continued to appear. 20, 50, 100. Identify those ships, ordered Melrix. The computer worked quickly. Data filled the screen. Ship types, sizes, weapons, and finally, origin. One word appeared in bright letters. Earth. Melrix felt something he had not felt in many years. Fear. That is impossible, he said. Humans have one small ship. Their technology is primitive. They cannot have a fleet. High speaker. The sensor officer's voice was barely a whisper. I count 150 ships. No, wait. More are decloaking. 170. 190. 200, said another officer. 200 ships, high speaker. And the flagship. The main screen changed. It showed a single ship emerging from cloak. This ship was not small. This ship was not simple. This ship was larger than anything the Coalition had ever built. It was beautiful and terrible at the same time. Dark metal covered its surface like armor. Weapons pointed in every direction, like the spines of a great beast. The name appeared on the screen. U.S. Taguchi, flagship of the United Earth Defense Force. Malrix could not speak. His mouth opened and closed, but no words came out. Around him, the command center was chaos.
Oh shit.
Officers ran between stations. Alarms screamed. Voices shouted questions that no one could answer. "They have surrounded us," said someone. "The human fleet has completely surrounded the station." How? How is this possible? They were here the whole time. They must have arrived before their delegation. Before we even knew they were coming. They planned this. They planned all of it. A communication signal cut through the noise. Someone was hailing the station. Malrix straightened his robes and tried to look calm. "Put it on the main screen," he ordered. The screen flickered.
That didn't count.
A human face appeared.
That didn't
A
count.
woman in a military uniform. Her hair was gray, but her eyes were sharp as knives. She sat in a command chair, surrounded by screens and officers.
So I'm gonna put
"This
you
is
guys on
Admiral
really quick,
Choi
okay?
Moran of the United Earth Defense Force," she said. Her voice was calm,
Wait, who?
steady, just like every human voice they had heard
Wait.
during the summit. "I am speaking to Station Ori 7 and the Galactic Coalition."
Who are
Malrix
all my,
stepped forward.
cheese lovers here?
"Admiral, what is the meaning of this? Why have you brought warships to a peaceful trade summit?"
Fries?
Admiral Choi almost smiled.
With a whole
Almost.
cup of cheese.
"We came to your
You just
summit in
dip-
peace,"
You dipped
she
your
said.
fries in this cheese.
"We sent one small ship and a few diplomats. We spoke softly.
Okay.
We listened to your
This
insults.
is what it is. Look at my stream.
We accepted your mockery. We endured your threats." She leaned forward slightly. "We did this because we wanted to understand who you truly are." Malrix felt the eyes of his officers on him.
Mess a little bit.
They were waiting for him to do something, to say
You
something.
don't like cheese?
But what could he say? 200 warships floated outside their station. Ships they had never detected. Ships that had been watching them for days. "Now we understand," continued Admiral Choi. "We understand how you treat species you consider weak.
Okay.
We understand how
you're
you steal from those who cannot
Okay,
fight
after the
back.
stream, I'll show you guys my
We
bread.
understand what partnership means to the coalition. This is an act of war," said Malrix. His voice sounded weak even to himself. "No," said Admiral Choi. "This is an act of education." She pressed a button on her chair. New data appeared on the command center screens. Defense grid status. Weapons systems. Shield generators. Every secret system on Station Ori 7 was displayed docked, and next to each system was a single word: compromised.
Okay.
"While your people were mocking our diplomats," said Admiral Choi, "our specialists were mapping your systems,
I forgot they did
your
Street Fighter.
defense grid, your weapons, your communications,
Okay,
everything."
Destiny, so May will be getting off
Malrix
after
remembered
this one, and
Dr.
then you can
Jiwoo's
take her
words.
spot.
Helix 4 frequency
She's getting off after
modulation.
this game, so after she's
Vulnerable
off, you
to
can take her
cascade
spot.
interference. It had not been an insult. It had been
Dude,
a
I bought
warning.
s-
You
all
could
of
have
a
destroyed
sudden-
us,
all of a
he
sudden,
said
Death
slowly.
Ghost wants to play.
You could have attacked at any moment. "Yes," said Admiral Choi. "We could have, but that is not why we came." "Then why? What do you want?" Admiral
These
Choi
fries,
looked
guys,
at him through
are
the
really
screen.
good right now.
Her eyes held no
I don't
anger,
care what anyone
no
says.
pride, no triumph. Just patience. "We wanted to see if you were worthy of alliance," she said.
I readied up.
"We traveled across the stars hoping to find partners, friends, equals. We sent our people to your summit with open hands and open minds." She paused. "You showed us who you are. You mocked us.
Dude,
You
right?
threatened
They
us.
Are expensive. That's what
You
I'm
tried to
saying.
make us slaves. And so we showed you who we are,"
It's
which
'cause
is
the game
what?
free.
Asked Malrix. "We are humans. We are patient. We are watchful. We remember everything. And when we are wronged," she let the silence stretch. "We do not forget." In the command center, a Karth warrior
So
began to
everyone, All
laugh.
the raiders.
It was not mocking laughter.
What kind of games do
It
you
was
guys
the
like to
laughter
play?
of
Oh my God,
someone
I'm
who
choking.
suddenly understands a joke that
shit.
was played on them. "They were never
DJ,
prey,"
hello.
he said. His mandibles clicked with something like admiration. "We were. Hi, speaker. A communications officer spoke urgently. The human fleet is not attacking. They are just waiting. Malrix looked at the screen. 200 ships. Any one of them could destroy the station. All of them together could end the coalition itself. But they were not firing. They were not threatening. They were just watching, like they had been watching all along. What do you want? Asked Malrix again. This time, his voice was smaller, more afraid. Admiral Choi studied him for a long moment. Nothing from you, she said finally. We wanted to see if you were worthy of alliance. You are not. We came with one ship to test your character. She gestured at the fleet behind her. We brought 200 to ensure you could not test ours. She leaned back in her chair. We will leave now. We will return to Earth. We will remember what happened here. And we will wait. Wait for what? For you to change. Or for you to fall. Either way, we will be watching. The screen went dark. Outside the station, the human fleet began to move. Ship after ship engaged their engines and turned toward open space. They moved in perfect formation, like birds flying south.
Where the fuck are the guns, bro?
Beautiful, powerful,
What the fuck?
silent. The flagship was the last to
There's
leave.
nothing in here.
It hung in space for a moment, facing the station. Then it too turned away. Within an hour, the fleet was gone. They had jumped to faster than light speed and disappeared. The space around Station Ori 7 was empty again.
Dude,
But nothing would ever be the same dot in the command center. No one spoke.
I don't have a gun.
The alarms had stopped. The screens had returned to normal. But every officer knew that the galaxy had changed. A species they had called weak had proven to be stronger than any of them imagined. A species they had mocked had shown that silence was not weakness. It was patience. It was strategy. It was power, and it was terrifying. Malrix stood alone in the center of the room.
Yeah,
His glass skin had lost its glow. He looked old and tired. High speaker. A Selenar advisor floated close. What do we do now? Malrix did not answer. He was thinking about the human captain who had smiled while being insulted. The human ambassador who had stayed calm while being threatened. The human scientist who had known their secrets and said nothing. They had been tested, and they had failed. We learn, said Malrix quietly. We learn that there are some silences we should never mistake for weakness. We learn that watching is sometimes more dangerous than attacking. We learn, he turned away from the screen. We learn that the humans are not what they seemed. And we pray that we have not made an enemy that will destroy us all.
Dude,
Far
Cameron's skin
away,
looks so good.
moving through the darkness between stars, the human fleet traveled home. On the bridge of the Tahajuki, Admiral Choi Moran looked at the stars ahead. Her job was done. She had shown them what humans were capable of. She had shown them that silence was not surrender. Now it was time to wait, because that was what humans did best. They waited. They watched. They remembered Dot, and when the time came, they acted. The galaxy had laughed at the silent humans. It would not laugh again. 1 week after the human fleet disappeared, the galaxy was still in chaos. No shots had been fired. No planets had been destroyed. No species had died. And yet everything had changed. On Station Ori 7, the normal business of trade and politics had stopped. The corridors were quiet. The meeting halls were empty. Everyone was watching. Everyone was waiting. Everyone was afraid. High Speaker Malrix sat alone in his private chambers. He had not spoken publicly since the humans left. His advisors came and went, bringing reports and questions that he did not answer. The coalition was falling apart. It had started with the Korath. The day after the human fleet left, their war leader announced that his species was leaving the coalition. We joined the coalition because we believed it was strong, he said in a public message. We have learned that true strength is not about mockery and threats. It is about patience and planning. The humans showed more strength and silence than the Coalition has shown in 1,000 years. The Korath fleet left Station Ori 7 that same day. They went to Earth. Then the Tormak followed. Their heavy ships flew away from Coalition space without a word. Reports said they were also seeking contact with the humans. Even some Selena began to drift toward Earth's region of space. The glowing beings had always valued knowledge. Now they wanted to learn about this species that had fooled everyone. Every day brought more bad news to Malrix's door. Trade agreements were canceled. Alliance promises were broken. Species that had supported the Coalition for centuries were now questioning whether they should continue. And everywhere, people talked about the humans. They knew our secrets, whispered the Velthra merchants. They knew everything and said nothing. They had 200 ships hidden in our own system, muttered the Coalition military officers. How did we not see them? They could have destroyed us, said everyone. They could have ended the Coalition. But they chose not to. Why? No one had an answer. On Earth, life continued as normal. The human fleet returned home and took its place in orbit around the blue planet. No celebrations were held. No victory speeches were given. The humans simply went back to their lives. But in private, there were conversations. Captain Park Do-yoon returned to his family. He sat with his wife and children and did not speak about what had happened. When his daughter asked why he had been gone so long, he just smiled and said, "I was learning about our neighbors." Lieutenant Kim Yuno was promoted. She became the director of a new department called Galactic Cultural Analysis. Her job was to study alien species and understand how they thought. Know thy enemy, she told her students, but also know thy potential friends. Sometimes they are the same. Dr. Baek Ji-woo went back to her research. She published papers about alien technology that made human scientists very excited. When reporters asked her about the summit, she said only, "We learned much. Now we must use what we learned." Sergeant Han Tiemann continued to serve in the military. He trained new soldiers and taught them the lessons of this summit. Patience, he told them. Observation. Silence. These are our greatest weapons. Any fool can attack. It takes wisdom to wait. Ambassador Shin Yoonji released a single public statement. It was short and clear. Earth sought partners, not masters. We found neither at Station Ori 7. When the Coalition is ready to speak as equals, we will listen. Until then, we will watch. We are very good at watching. This statement was translated into every known alien language.
Definitely been here.
It spread across the galaxy like light spreading from a star. Everyone read it. Everyone remembered it. And everyone understood its meaning. Months passed. The Coalition struggled to hold itself together. Malrix was removed from his position as High Speaker. His replacement was a younger Velthri named Cyril, who spoke carefully and tried to rebuild trust with other species. But trust was hard to rebuild. The Korath arrived at Earth first. Their war leader requested a meeting with human leaders. He came alone to the planet's surface, without guards or weapons. Admiral Choi Moran met him at the landing area. "You are brave to come alone," she said. The Korath clicked his mandibles. "After what I saw, I believe your species does not need excuses to attack. If you wanted me dead, I would be dead. Since I am not dead, I am safe." Admiral Choi almost smiled. "You understand us better than the Coalition does." "I have learned," said the war leader. "We Korath respect strength. We thought strength meant big ships and loud threats. Your species taught us that real strength is quieter, deeper, more patient." They walked together through a garden near the landing area. Flowers from Earth bloomed in colors the Korath had never seen. Birds sang in the trees. "This is a beautiful planet," said the Korath. "We think so," said Admiral Choi. "The Coalition wanted to take it from you. They wanted to turn your people into servants. Yes, you could have destroyed them. Why did you
Oh,
not?
no, don't go there.
Admiral Choi stopped walking. She looked up at the sky, where stars were beginning to appear in the evening darkness. Because destruction is easy, she said. Any species can destroy. We wanted to prove that we are more than that.
Oh shit.
We wanted to show that humans can be strong without being cruel,
Hold on, Diamond, hold on.
powerful without being evil,
Oh, yep.
patient without being weak. The Korath considered this. And now? What do you want now? The same thing we always wanted. Partners, friends, equals. She turned to face him. Is your species interested? The war leader was silent for a long moment. Then he did something strange. He lowered his head in a gesture of respect. My people have fought many wars, he said. We have conquered many enemies, but we have never met a species like yours. You defeated the coalition without firing a single weapon. You won a war without starting one. He raised his head. The Korath would be honored to be your partners. Admiral Choi extended her hand. The Korath looked at it with his many eyes, then carefully touched it with one of his armored hands. It was the first alliance between humans and another galactic species, but it would not be the last. Years later, historians would write about this time. They called it the Silent Revolution. They studied how one small species changed the entire galaxy without violence or conquest. Some historians focused on the strategy. They talked about the hidden fleet, the compromised defense systems, the careful planning that made it all possible. Other historians focused on the culture. They talked about human patience, human observation, human silence. They argued that these qualities were more important than any weapon or technology. A Selena historian wrote the words that many considered the best summary of what happened. The glowing being spent years studying human history and culture before writing a single sentence in the great archive of species. The humans came quietly. They left without violence. And in their silence, we heard thunder. Back on Earth, Captain Park Do-yoon grew old. He retired from the military and spent his days teaching young officers. When they asked him about the summit, he always told the same story. They laughed at us, he would say. They called us weak. They said we were nothing. What did you do? The young officers would ask. Nothing, Do-hyun would answer. We did nothing. We just waited. And then they looked behind us. And they stopped laughing. The old captain would smile at this point. Remember, he would tell them, the loudest voice in the room is not always the strongest. Sometimes the strongest is the one who says nothing at all. The one who watches. The one who waits. The one who knows that silence is not emptiness.
I think so.
He would look out the window at the stars. Silence is power.
Maybe that's
Never
not you, I
forget
don't
that.
know.
The young officers never did, and neither did the
bonkers, I
galaxy.
think.
The humans had come quietly. They had
Bonkers,
spoken
93.
softly. They had endured insult and mockery without complaint. And in the end, their silence had echoed louder than any weapon ever
I don't know how
could.
this works.
They were the silent ones, and they were stronger than anyone had ever imagined.